this is a review of our Bauspiel X blocks. I probably shouldn't be reviewing them because they only just arrived like this morning. However, I've been looking at them for ages and looking for reviews for them for ages, and there really aren't very many online that I could find, apart from those little short ones you get when you on shops that people have given, but they're not very informative usually. They're usually very short, so I thought I'd give a video of ours. We've only got 10. I'm buying them in splits because it's much cheaper, and getting a lovely guy on Etsy who makes boxes to make us a box to fit them in, because I couldn't find a box anywhere. I think one shop in the UK that I could find would sell just a box on its own, but they'd sold out, so I had to have it made. But yeah, they're really lovely, nice chunky blocks. They're really well made, they're really well sanded as well, because some of them I found, like Scrap At recently, have got really rough edges, especially inside of things, and some Ostheimer toys also seem to have not been sanded very well recently, like the newer ones that you buy. So yeah, it's good that these weren't like that. They're actually really well made, and there's no sharp bits, which is a plus if you have little children. And yeah, I don't have any lucent cubes, but we do have these Regenbogenland blocks, and they fit in the gaps, as you can see, but they do poke out like by about, well, they're like double the size of a lucent cube, so they poke out. But you could do it like this, and then they're fine. That's the same effect, just a bit bigger, but they're really pretty. I thoroughly recommend them. I'll do a review on them later, but the X blocks are lovely. They stack really nicely. Well, they have the same problem as Colour Street in that they are quite they're quite narrow, 2.5 centimeters like wide. So for toddlers, that's not very stable. On my toddler anyway. I think she'll find these quite irritating to play with, because unless I put them on a surface, she'll find them hard to stack. But it's good for her to learn to be frustrated and get over it. So yeah, they're lovely. We really like them, and the grain is beautiful, and they smell nice, and they're nicely sanded and lovely, well-made blocks. I'm really excited to start putting them into our builds and giving them to my children to see what they can come up with, because they're lovely. They're really different as well. Like, there's nothing else like these that I could find. We do have the Regenbogenland ones, the T3 blocks, but they are even worse. They're, well, probably about the same thickness, but they're really long, so they're very unstable. I suppose they're okay if you lay them flat, but you could never do them upright. And my little girl finds them annoying. You're meant to put the blocks in like this, and it just irritates her. So I think these will be easier because they're smaller, and not like if one falls over, it's not going to push everything else over. Unlike this will just knock all the blocks out. So yeah, I think they look like a fun addition, and I think they'll make good fences and windows and like everything. They'll be great. So yeah, I don't know very much about them yet, but so far so good. They're lovely. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting them, maybe try a split like this that's less expensive. So if you're not quite sure what it is that you want, yeah, this will probably be a better way for you to do it, because I stupidly, when the Regenbogenland toys and splits came out on the Yes Baby website, I bought a bunch of the T3 blocks because they fit the stones, and I don't really like them. And nor does my daughter. They annoy her, and they're ugly compared to Bauspiel. They're like laminated wood, which is probably stronger, but they're very expensive, and they're not very pretty or grimy compared to Bauspiel, as you can see. And they're quite pale. So although you can put them together in builds, because they're all they pretty much are the same dimensions, so they will fit together. They don't look as nice. They kind of ruin the look. So yeah, if it was a comparison review, I would say go for the Bauspiel. But then I prefer the rainbow stones to the lucent cubes, which is why I haven't bought any yet, because these are just so pretty. I don't see why I should waste money buying the less pretty lucent cubes, because these fit just fine. But yeah, I hope you found that review useful, even though I'm rambling and my baby's crying in the background. So yeah, that's my review. They're lovely, and if you're on the fence, you should have a go. Buy a split and see what you think.